Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza here at the Hatfield Public Library and I have a box of fiction for adults starting with Tangled Up in You, a fun romance by Christina Lauren, who are actually a pair of authors named Christina and Lauren. And this one, it says it's a meant to be novel, which I think is a series, but I think it's a series of standalones. About a woman who doesn't go on social media, likes to read books. She's lived off the grid for most of her life, and then she starts attending college, and they're like taking an immunology class. I don't know. Sounds like a good premise. Why not? We have All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. This is a Read with Jenna book and New York Times bestselling author. Not someone I'm super familiar with. It takes place in 1975. And it's a small town where girls are disappearing. And then, I guess they just are trying to figure out what's happening. It seems like there's possibly a serial killer. We have a new Craig Johnson, First Frost. This is the basis of the Longmire series on Netflix. We have a new Courtney Sullivan, who wrote Maine. This is a Reese's Book Club book. All of her novels take place in Maine. They're kind of like sprawling family novels. I think this one involves like a big house and finding the history, and like the owner thinks it's haunted. So it sounds fun. It sounds intriguing. We have The Unwedding. Oh, good title. Another Reese's Book Club book. Reese is very busy. So Condie was a big name in the YA world. She wrote the Matched trilogy, which was just super, super popular. And so now here she is in the adult sphere. And I kind of want to read this one. It's got it kind of checks my boxes because it's a woman who's supposed to go to like a fancy resort for her wedding anniversary. But then I think she breaks up with her husband, so she's there alone. And then, of course, they find a body. So who can say no to that? Oh, wait, did I say fiction? This one is a memoir. It's Fee by Alexandra Fuller, who very famously wrote Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight, which was a memoir about her childhood. I just remembered what this is about, so I have to try hard not to cry because I think I cried when I read the book review. I know that's a little embarrassing, but she just suddenly loses her son. He just dies when he's 21 years old in his sleep. And so that's about that. It just sounds so sad to me. But I think that one of the things she's known for is being a very powerful writer about sad and difficult things. A new Atkins, Don't Let the Devil Ride. Good title. Another good title. This is Just Some Stupid Love Story by Katelyn Doyle. Oh my gosh. I love that. So it's about a woman who writes Hollywood rom-coms for a living. And then she's only fallen in love with one guy who is, of course, her high school boyfriend. She hasn't seen him in 15 years. But my guess is they are going to run into each other. So many good titles. Now we have the Rom-Commers by Katherine Center. They are really knocking it out of the park with Rom-Commers. I feel like this one is a similar story because, this is about a woman who wants to be a screenwriter, but she's the sole caregiver for her dad. And then she gets a chance to rewrite a script for a famous screenwriter who I think ends up being a love interest despite being maybe a jerk to start out. Okay, again, I have to take back what I said about fiction because we have another nonfiction. This is A Walk in the Park by Kevin Fedarko. It's the true story of a spectacular misadventure in the Grand Canyon. My mom actually just told me she's reading this. Hi, Mom, if you are watching. And she said it's really good, and it sounds good to me, too. It's about two friends who decide to embark on an end-to-end traverse of the Grand Canyon. One of the friends says it's going to be a walk in the park, but clearly that is not. That's not how it goes. Um, that sounds really exciting. I think I do want to read that. The Last Murder at the End of the World, Stuart Turton. So this takes place like actually at the end of the world. Like I guess everyone has died except for a small island of people. And then on that small island of people, someone gets murdered. So they are solving the murder on this, I guess, island of scientists um, at the end of the world. And Stuart Turton wrote The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I think I heard that was good. It sounds intriguing. We have a new Sally Hepworth, Darling Girls. Oh my gosh, it's got the creepy swimming pool with the reflection of the house. Uh, okay, so it's about three young girls who were rescued from family tragedies and raised by a loving foster mother. But it maybe wasn't such a fairy tale because the foster mother had a lot of rules and was unpredictable. Um, and then a body is discovered in the home where they grew up, and they end up being witnesses and sort of getting sucked back into her spear. More swimming pool cover. 'Tis the season for the swimming pool cover. I like this one too. Husband and Lovers by Beatriz Williams. Ooh, two women separated by decades. One is a single mom. Oh no. Whoa. Ay ay ay. Whoa, okay. There's a lot going on in this book summary. Oh my goodness, I did not expect it to be so much. So, New England, present day. Oh, a single mom finds out her 10-year-old son got acute poisoning from a toxic death cap mushroom in summer camp and is fighting for his life. And so she needs a kidney donor. So she has to go track down her own, I guess, heritage. And her mom was adopted from an infamous Irish orphanage in 1952. And then there's also another storyline in Egypt in 1951. Wow. That really, I mean, it just sounds like a ton of stuff, but I would imagine that's going to be a book where once you start reading, it's going to be hard to put down. We have When We Were Silent by Fiona McPhillips. So a new student at Highfield Manor, an exclusive private school in Dublin. But she's not there. She's trying to, she's not there for no reason. She's trying to expose secrets about the school, and then there ends up being a dead body, and then 30 years later, she needs to she needs to testify in a lawsuit against the school. So it sounds like similar to some of the other ones where someone gets out of a situation and then decades later they get sucked back in. We have Swift River by Essie Chambers. I read about this, but now I can't remember. It's a Read with Jenna book, and summer of 1987 in Swift River. The main character stands out because she's heavy and she's the only Black person living in Swift River since her dad left. Sounds like maybe her dad is Black, but her mom is white. And then she receives a letter from a relative she's never seen. And she's introduced to two generations of African American women and their shared pasts. So it sounds like a family drama. Birding with Benefits by Sarah T. Tubb. This looks like a cute little romance. You can see that she's watching two different kinds of creatures there. And oh my gosh. So she agrees to pose as a stranger's girlfriend for a day. We always know how that goes, but it's a fun journey. Three more books. We have Bear by Julia Phillips. I listened on audio to Disappearing Earth, and it really has just stayed with me. It was just such an emotional book, and it did such a very vivid portrait of, I think it took place in sort of a very remote part of Russia. This takes place off the coast of Washington. Interesting. And if there's an actual bear, wow. Huh. About two sisters and then a bear comes into their life. That's not a usual premise. Um, yeah. Huh. Bonds of sisterhood and the mysteries of the animals that live among us. Exit Fire by Morgan Talty. Very sort of a little stressful cover there. Um, so this takes place on Maine's Penobscot Reservation, and um, an- oh, okay. So it says it says the man Charles has watched life from the river, including from, I'm sorry, has watched life from his porch, including his neighbor Elizabeth's wife. But he has never let anyone know that Elizabeth is actually his daughter. But did I say that clearly? He watches his neighbor Elizabeth, who is secretly his daughter, and now she has disappeared and he is really worried, so he's going to try to find her. Oh my gosh, that sounds like sort of a powerful family saga. Last one, another nonfiction. Again, taking back what I said about this box being fiction. It's At the Edge of Empire, A Family's Reckoning with China by the New York Times correspondent Edward Wong. Gorgeous cover. They did a really nice job with this. And it's an epic story of modern China, and that weaves in a riveting family memoir. Edward Wong is the son of Chinese immigrants who grew up in Washington, D.C. Um, they didn't really talk about where they'd come from, but this is about his father's journey under Mao, and then like escaping to Hong Kong, and then it's Edward Wong's own story as he investigates his father's past. Sounds good. A lot of these sounds really good. I'm really excited to get all of these on the shelf, and I'll be back soon. Bye.